Yeah, it's just from free music. It's like some sort of lo-fi. Nope, it's still 2025. It's not out yet. Alright, so I guess I'll cover some initial stuff. Thoughts are we're going to pick up those first few quests. If you don't do Zone 1 quests, you'll get level 2 before you get down, and that just kind of makes it painful before you get to this point. And so we always want to come get the quest to go do the rat den before we actually get to the rat den or go in it. Don't want to have to clear it twice. Of course, I might be not being efficient one way or another, so we'll see if there's any efficiencies to be gained. But just trying to simulate, league start for 14th. Just do a couple practice runs so that way it's not hours trying to get back into the rhythm of things, figuring stuff out, where to go, what to do. I think the hardest part is honestly just trying to get to gear egg, level 20 something, hopefully before an hour. I don't even know if that's realistically good or realistically bad time frame. But just trying to play as a necromancer. I think once you get to like level 10, you start getting some multiple summons out. It starts making it feel a little bit better. As you can see, I haven't even put on like a loot filter yet or some sort of thing to only show like arcane caster stuff. It's another thing that you'd want to typically do so that you don't just see all these charms and then start knowing or learning what charms you actually want to pick up. So like Savage being physical damage, that's not going to help us. So let's just go in here, put some more points in. Always wanted to 2 vitality for a little bit so that we can have, a couple hundred health by the time we actually get to Gurek, because if you die to him, your run's going to start being slow, and we don't want that. So I think if we shoot for probably close to 3, 4, maybe 500. I think on hardcore I was always aiming for some of the higher numbers. Softcore, since hardcore is likely not going to be going off too well, because again, the addition of a new difficulty that's just going to make hardcore harder, and so you're going to have less and less people playing it. Yeah, not a great time. So this being a dungeon, level 4, we're at level 4 now, so we're getting the 100% XP. Gonna try and clear it. Not fully, but as you can see, it's not. It's going slower than I'd honestly probably like. Still, not terrible. Something I can deal with. It's again a little bit faster than if you die in your eggs area and have to like grind that for a little bit. And so we're just doing this until we can get level 5. That's going to let us come in here, increase our maximum warriors, and then I'm also going to put another just 4 points into vitality, and you can start seeing the warriors start doing a little bit more damage, and that's going to make things go a little bit faster. And so just knowing when to balance that, stacking it into int, putting some into vitality, that's all you really need for softcore. If you're doing hardcore, you're probably going to be pumping vitality the whole time. But again, I would be interested to know, how many more people might be going hardcore just based on that new difficulties thing. It's going to be a lot rougher. Let's be honest. I don't think I can wield those. Lightning skill damage not going to help us. So you can see we already completed one of the quests as well, purging the lands. That's the body parts that we needed to pick up, but we're not going to be able to turn that in until we actually get to, I believe, Fields of Battle. And so now we just need Kill Fragrat, and then we can probably, we can't teleport out because we didn't pick up the Zone 1 waypoint, but I'll get the second skeleton done here so we can actually clear this out pretty quick. I'm not worried about chests or anything because the amount of times that we're going to be replacing gear is going to be a little bit faster. So I'm going to zoom through as much as I can because again, I think the quests are actually a really good source of experience for these early parts. So we can see the waypoints down there, and then the final area is up top. So let's go grab the waypoint. That way we can grab the coffee beans, and then we can go turn in the quest, and then maybe waypoint back when we are in Fields of Battle. Just constantly kind of putting some skeletons back down every now and again. Probably another double dump, and then again just putting points into the skeletons. It's not going to do much early on, but I like doing this more than putting it into the actual bone shred. I don't like how that feels if you dump points into it. Alright, so there's that. So we're going to go back. We did level up, so we could have checked for gear, but again, that's going to be something that's not going to be too much of an issue. So now we're going to need to be finding bricks and maggot carcasses. So we will be going through and clearing more of the things so we can actually make progress on those. At the same time, turning this into the Magister. He's not going to have a new quest for us because he used to have the Garrett quest, but I think that's more for when you find them later on. And again, since this is like simulating wipe, let's go through and actually tackle some of the veins, because again, one of the quests is to go through and mine 125 copper. I don't recall if they actually increased that. It definitely feels like it though, but clearing out some of the brush so bricks actually drop. Check what the magic ring actually does. 70 arcane skill damage. That's a heck yes to me. We'll see if it actually helps us out. It's, being minion based is one of those weird things. It's Hard to tell if it does or not, but if anything, it's going to help that shred skill. And so now for Fields of Battle, we're just kind of making sure we get the carcasses, the bricks, and then finding the exit so we can go on through to the stupid choke point area between these two before we hit Pumpkin Fields. It's going to be the next stop where we actually want to like clear out the dungeon. Not full clear, but it's another good source of XP, so we get to being able to kill Urag sooner than later. I'm not doing anything like buying keys on this. As you can see, I played hardcore last league, and so I have like only 18 million gold over there. This is nothing I'm trying to pump to make it seem easier. I didn't start out with anything. I'm not going to use anything from my inventory or stash because I really don't have anything. So we already got maggots. Need to pick up some more bricks. I can see that there's some down here on the minimap. And since they drop from the grass, it might be worthwhile just to try to focus those. While you're going through, just always make sure you're keeping an eye up on the dots underneath your health bar. So you can see how many summons you actually have up, and if you need to plop another one down. I think it's to be said, whenever you get to a certain point, using the meat bomb skill, I believe. Go up here and just finish the quest. Use a meat bomb that's going to give you a corpse, so you can just drop a skill and raise some skeletons, but we're going through pretty easily enough. We're going to fight some harder mobs in here, so I'm just going to dump them into int. We only get meat shield. We'd have to be level 10, or sorry, level 8 to get meat bomb, so we're going to get that in this zone, very likely. And then we don't have to worry about turning in any of the quests until next zone, because there's nothing in here. But this can get a little sketchy, so make sure you have good enough damage, because you're going to start finding more of the rare mobs in here. Don't remember their names offhand, but you start seeing the accents next to health bars. They're going to be enchanted to some degree or variety. So again, just putting stuff in. We can put a mage on now, and that's just going to kind of help things out. But we're going to keep points in the skeleton, just because it's easier. And then the nice part, we already have the points to go in the mage and get a second one. So just from now on, we have 4 minions instead of just 2. We're just gonna keep rolling. Undead harvesters are the ones that you gotta watch out for, and especially if they're poisonous or something. Those after death effects are always such a pain, especially I come from Path of Exile 2, Diablo 3, especially if you're not paying attention, just trying to zoom through. If you're not zooming fast enough, you're gonna get caught up into those, and that's why it's usually just a pain. Gonna check the leeching gloves. Oh, put them on, so better than what we had. Some of the things over there so that they can take some of the initial aggro before we jump. Again, we're just trying to play smartly, not just trying to blitz through this. I think there's something to be said, but I think the safer you are when it comes to at least that first Keurig thing, when you get to the second act, you can afford to rush a little bit faster. Again, most of the quests that we're doing or shooting for right now is getting that charm for movement speed. That's going to help us, you know, level faster overall. So here we're going to shoot for, I guess we're going to do Tink's quest, Tinkerdink, shock some things. It's usually pretty easy, because you can just hold it down and spam it. And here it actually does decent damage, so you can actually use it to clear a little bit. But we can see there's the waypoint, and then the next thing that we want to find is the dungeon. But I think we need to turn in one of these quests back in town before we actually get the dungeon to kill the lumbering pumpkin. So let's go turn in shock therapy. Can't jump in from the backs. Go off to the side. Drops a satanic, nice. But it's obviously not going to be a good one, especially not the one that we could use. Cool. So, also we need to make sure that we gather the crimson pumpkins here, but that's not an issue. Typically they spawn in sets of 3, and then you just need to make sure you find 2 clumps. Unless you're really unlucky and it turns into mouth-watering pumpkins every time you try to do it. So you can see you can tank through it while getting hit. That's why playing a minion build's pretty nice, so that way you can just turn your brain off AFK. You can see we were unlucky, only got 1. That's not going to be bad because increased arcane skill damage. So let's go ahead and wander around and see if we can find any more crimson pumpkins. Doesn't look like they are down here. And you can see I am taking some chuck hits, so we do need to put some points into vitality. Always being on the lookout for some arcane gear, so I'll just start recognizing what some of those affix names are on the purple gear, or the mythics that you see. Don't need to dedicate a lot to memory, but after a little bit you'll notice a trend. Or you could be smart and put on a filter like I should have done, so yeah. I'm actually going to go ahead and pick up the shield. I think I'm also going to get rid of the cape, because it's not doing anything for me. I think it gives me a skill, or at least passive, and I wasn't using it. Alright, so we can see the pink down here, so there's going to be some more pumpkins. You can see how you have my mages up, so let's put those out. And even if I got all 3 here, I'd still be missing 1. So let's just go ahead and get the last one down here. You can see we got level 10, so that's going to be great, because now we can add another 2 total to our minions. So let's put 6 into vitality, 2 there. So I'm going to keep going and putting them into skeletons for the time being. Got our second point, so we can put another. So now we can have 3 of each instead of 2. It's going to be pretty helpful. The reason I put it into skeletons instead of mages or anything like that, or even the passive, is that this is going to make them feel the most tanky and give me more of a meat shield, so it's not like mages are going to die in 1 hit, that sort of thing. Additionally, you can go in here and go into the shred and pick up a number of projectiles. What this is going to do and be helpful is whenever you're going through and just wanting to aggro a bunch of things, you're just going to shoot these, aggro the mobs to you. Your mobs are then going to go and attack them because they're closer. Just make your quality of life a little bit better. So, like I said, it's going to be a little bit more close to a full clear, just to make sure that we get enough EXP. That's not hard, because a lot of it feels like we're one-shotting most of these things, if at least one of my minions actually hits them. Might as well go in here. Other classes and builds, you can shoot projectiles between these things and make it a little bit easier. You don't have to path towards everything, but our skills don't let us do that yet. I think once we get towards our later summons, we're going to be able to reach out and touch a little bit more than we currently do. So there are some reasons to maybe want to try to go Bone Shred early on, because if you stand close enough, you can realistically shotgun all these projectiles into something. So you can see I'm shooting a lot of projectiles, but only 2 of them were making it out past that boss mob. And so theoretically the damage should be decent, but I experimented, put some points in, and it didn't feel great, so I wasn't going to do that. I kind of want to feel like a summoner the whole time I'm playing, so we're going to go from there. Again, just identifying things as we go through, what can help. You can hold on to purples or mythics and sell them to like the town vendor for some money. I think if you have enough room inventory, you can do the blues. They are supposed to be good sell value, and then I'm just checking things to see if I can get like plus skills to something, because that would usually help, because again, what you're restricted to early on is your actual skill level. So yeah, just be paying attention, because you never know what's going to drop. That's the biggest reason I like some of these games that wipe frequently, is because it's that whole hey, something new, you can't guarantee you're going to get certain things. It's Path of Exiles, the Tarkovs. You'd think I'd like to play Rust, but I've honestly never played it before. Something I want to not talk game to play when I come home from work. Old man gaming. Okay, so again, let's go ahead and put some more points into Vitality, making sure we're still dumping some into Intelligence, and then making my Skeleton Knights a little bit stronger. So now we just gotta find the exit. Actually, we might have messed up a little bit, because if we go down here and turn our quest into the Sarcaster, he's going to say that he wants hot water. And where does he want hot water? The pumpkin patch. And the water only drops from mobs, and they upped it. It used to only be like 15 things of water you needed to get. But obviously they are kind of adjusting that drop rate internally as well. If only they did that for whenever you needed to pick up 10,000 berries, because that's the most annoying quest ever. So let's go ahead and swing around a little bit more so we can make sure that we get, what was that, 35 more water. Don't need Andamitis, because again, just simulating league start. It's not like we need to make sure that we actually farm gold for things. Go ahead and pop altar things. You can see these. When you have instances where it spawns those less number of mobs, typically they are harder. So you can see we're still doing okay damage-wise, even though we're just putting points into like Intelligence and Vitality. If you're lacking damage, put more points into Intelligence. If you're lacking survivability, put it into Vitality. I don't think this is going to be useful at all. +1 all skills. Some all res. It's honestly not the worst, especially since it is only a one-hander. Hardcore, it's a lot nicer to keep your offhand because of the block chance. But also, softcore, especially with the new difficulty rank coming out, or sorry, Inferno. Is going to test the hell difficulty. It's going to nerf your resistances even further, so it's usually pretty important to have, at least on one set, whether it's your main hand or offhand, some sort of all res or high resistance, so you can account for that sort of stuff. So again, we're trying to get 25 more hot water before we clear the zone, so we'll have to reset, because that would be tragic. It would set us back so far. Start seeing people drop in satanics and angelics in the chat, and that'd be miserable. All because we had to reset a zone. You can see we're doing pretty good on level. Again, needing to make sure that I pay attention to my net max number of summons that I have available. Could set it to autocast, but I think that's one of those instant casts that it would just be like, no, your character can't move, have fun. You can see we have some pretty decent cast right now. Only need 5 more water, which is good. As you can see, we got all but 1. So, there we go. Not completely unlucky. Go to the Woodhill. If we didn't see the waypoint back, I was going to just drop a portal and go back. But since we do see it, it's just easy enough to go. was to come in here and bind recall, which I think is a new keybind. Before it was just command minions that we could do. Because the last time I tested the Gurren fight, it's with minions and other things, unless you're doing the damage yourself, it can be difficult, because the minions will just sit there and they'll try to smash Gurren the whole time. But guess what? If he's invincible while he has those knights up, that's kind of pointless. So being able to recall them to something closer that they're going to want to hit is pretty critical. So here, turning that quest, made him some soup. He's going to want to stick through the Black Tower. And then this is that third really good, packed, dense zone. It's one level lower than us, so we're still going to be getting some good XP out of it. And then, that's great. Let's get some 10% increased experience. If we get high enough level, it's probably going to warrant, it's not even worth it in my mind, rushing through this a little bit faster, because as you can see, it's still kind of a dangerous place. We'll get some lightning res, as useless as that may seem. Keep an eye out, level 14, 2 levels until I can wear that. That's going to be a nice chest upgrade. Make sure that you're putting your summons out, because those stupid little imps that shoot them, I hate them so much. And they kill so many hardcore players. But they're going to be hurting your minions, so make sure you keep putting them down every now and then. You can see we got 2 XP altars, but that doesn't do anything. It just resets the duration, I believe. So it's still just a net plus 10% experience. Or else you can stack up some pretty ridiculous stuff. And just make sure you keep moving, because again, those little popcorn do. And this is why we'll play hardcore. The popcorn dudes, whenever they die, they do that attack where they shoot a ball at your position, and then they shoot it in equidistant areas from that, or like more of a spread. And so if you spread out, or sorry, if you keep moving, it's going to be one of those things that just keeps you alive more while facing them and going in that dungeon. But as you can see, that wasn't even what killed me. I died to fire, like a fire enchanted mob that died. And death isn't the end of the world. Yeah, it's those pyromaniac mobs. Also, if you stand on top of where those explode, guess what? You get hit by all, was it 5, 6 projectiles? And you just eat them. Just eat all of them. So, typically league start, you're going to see a couple days, maybe the first day. People might give up by then. Chat's just going to be filled with, oh, this and this person died. And then you usually just toss out a obligatory rip. Although there's a new thing where people roll a dice to signify it. It's like a meme or something like that. I don't know. Just going to go ahead and hit Q, recall those things, because you can see there are some mobs still back there. But if you recall them, makes them a little bit more effective, efficient. You can see that was a bloating mob, and bloating mobs are great because they're basically big XP. Big XP. Yeah, there you go. All those purple things they drop are XP, I should say. Yeah, per kill, life, energy. I'm just trying to be smart. Let's go ahead and replace that. I like just throwing on satanics on things just because it's going to make it easy. Again, we have a lot of stuff. And then just making sure that we have capped summons. And you can see we are almost level 15, which is going to be the next breakpoint for when we get yet another minion. You can see that that shrine summoned a bunch of bloating minions. So that's really good because if each one drops all those balls, you're going to get like a nice XP gain if you can kill them fast enough. I think it's wise. I think people do try to focus them, and so if you get the opportunity, just pop the portal run by. Because you can see, we just gained 2 levels right there. And then you can see, I don't think there's anything here that's going to be any different, but guess what, that's free money. So here we're going to be looking at 12 move speed, 1 mana per second, to this where it's not greater. I wouldn't even switch it. I don't see any charms that we could pick up or slap on, but I will put, we have 20 points, so 3 into vitality because we're doing okay, and then the rest into damage. And then let's just put the rest into skeletons and bump the number up, and then we can also go in here into bone shred and honestly projectile speed, or I'm just going to chunk like a mount just so that way if we actually do need to shotgun something, it's not going to, like, it might tickle them. So you can see now we have 4 of each. And still I don't have that skill that lets me drop a corpse and spawn from that, because again, we're in a low enough area where, you know, we can kill something. Even with our bone shred, we can kill something. And again, just juking back and forth so those little popcorn dudes don't kill us. And again, coming in here, hitting my Q so it teleports all the zombies, minions. It's the equivalent of the Path of Exile Convocation. You know, really good because you can just drop them, and then I love the minion AI in this because they are quite aggressive. So you can see here they have aggro on the guy. I don't even need to worry about it. Just come in, stand behind them, hold right click, and bada bing, bada boom. Life Ward gauntlets. I think these all resist. Yeah, those are going to be better than most of the gloves. Bear, which I think is just life. That's still going to be decent. Because again, we want to have some decent health, because when it comes to Gurag, if you don't have enough health, it's just going to be annoying. So now here we didn't do the pumpkin cellar. Okay, we have the waypoint. Yep. We didn't reset yet, so we're gonna have the map. Easy enough. Not bad. I came in here. Why didn't it? I'm gonna have to reset, aren't I? Son of a gun. Slight dexterity, don't want that. Some res, we'll take that. Yeah, that dude's... Oh my gosh. Alright, we're officially behind. But that doesn't matter, because it's not actually league start. Why suck then when I can suck now and get it out of the way? It's like wasting all your bad karma. Dark Guard, which I think is... yeah, defense versus missiles. That's not going to be too bad. Again, if you have all those slots at level 1 for charms, pick crap up and use it. It's going to be useful. Alright, so you can see there, that's the entrance to the area, and we are stuck in hay bales. I think if you hit M, it will constantly keep the minimap in that background setting. I know that people change the colors of this to make it a little bit more visible. I don't care enough. Like I said, old guy PoE player, I'm just going to make sure that, first and foremost, I have fun. You know, that's my goal. If I can have fun fast on league starts and start actually like making a profit and doing stuff like that, let's aim for that, but I'm still just going to have fun. Now if I can remember the layout so I can get down to that area the fastest. Talisman of Energy. I think I already have a Satanic Talisman on, so it's not going to... Chances are it's not going to be better than that, but Mythics you can upgrade. Satanics, I don't want to say you can't, because I think there are some... Yeah, let's go kill the guy again. Colossal Pumpkin Man. Could have sworn I killed him. Again, teleport all my minions in. You can see they just kind of came in decimated. Hot water completed. So now we're going to town portal back. Go talk to Sarcaster again. So now we get a mug. This takes up a potion slot, and since potions are changing in Season 6, I don't know what that means for this. But caffeinated, when you use a potion, and if you have it set to use all, it's going to use all of these, including your special one. If you don't have use all, you get to basically tell it whenever you want to move fast for a little bit. But since we are full here, we're just going to come in, offload. I'm going to sell everything I don't want. I don't think Striker's Ring gives me anything. And then this is just block chance and then flat stats, where that's defense and block. So I guess we'll keep it to level 23 unless we find something better. The only better thing is, you know, maybe a better two-hander, or specifically a better shield, or at least for defense purposes. So that was the pumpkin area. I want to put some more points into health, just so that we are that little bit more tanky. And then again, coming in, we don't have any more points to put into things. Go in and do that. Didn't even get the portal for gardens, but that's fine, because we didn't go there yet, because I saw this exclamation mark and I wondered what I was doing with my life. You can see that you have the unstable rift up there. You can risk it, but honestly, we are level 19. We have this little interim zone between the two final areas. And so we're going to come in here, again, pick up charms, see what it is, replenish life, not bad, get some XP, and we should be level 20, 21 by the time we actually get to Gurak. We'll see if we can chunk out some more health, or at least play smartly so we don't die when it gets to like the chest phase and those things start orbiting him. There are some things you can start paying attention to, like owl caps or anything for those really low-level rune words. There's people out there that are like, I'm just going to go out and make a scholar as soon as I can. They are pretty good. They do give you benefits. So just weigh that, consider it. There's usually more than enough some D-tier satanics that you can just slap on your head. You know, in my mind, feel the same. But yeah, anything where it's like really linear, like this has decent pack density. Just go through and clear it. Always check your things. That one's interesting. Chance and plus skill. So here we have two quests, one to find the spellbook, which is going to be in the next interim zone, the dungeon entrance. And then the other is kill Gurak, so we're going to just keep marching towards that. We are level 20, so that does mean we get minions, so that's going to make it 5 each. But then what's nice here is that we also get a Shrine of Skill, so it's going to make our skills be +2, which if we wanted to rush Gurag, we might be able to, but 500 life is a little... I'll be honest with myself, it's going to be a little cutting it. I might have to spam some pots, do something like that. Maybe turn on use all potions. Like, let's be honest. If you're just using one potion, it might not fill you up the whole way, and so a follow-up hit might actually kill you. So while we have that 2 skills for 2 minutes, let's try to do not power clear, but do pretty decently as much as we can. We're going to find far greater density and layout, or sorry, better layout, actually in here, in the boss entrance. So come in, and drop stuff right on the portal, but it is what it is. Just hold right click, let your minions go to work, and have fun. +1 all skills. There you go. There's that Murder of Crows book we need for the quest, which we're going to turn in here. Hi, Jussie. He likes sitting outside, probably smoking something. He's a smoker. He's a toker. So you can see that's where we turn in the quest for the charm we were talking about. The charm is a satanic, but the nicest part of it is that we get a move speed buff from it. That guy usually drops at least once they can. Hit recovery not bad, but I think for this next part we are going to be getting hit, so it's not all too out of the question to just pick up. Again, interesting. Just make that evaluation for your character. Say, is this going to be useful to me at this point in time? And play it by ear, honestly. So we want to do something like this, try to figure out where we can play Jenga or Tetris, fit them all in. You can see that we have 6 seconds left on the +2 all skills, so we're not going to have that +2 when it actually comes to fighting Gurag anymore, which again is fine. Our limiting factor, it's not damage, it is staying alive long enough, in all honesty, and that's for me. Replenish life. So let's just go ahead and go and try to find him. As you can see, I'm not even using all my skeletal mages. There you go, level 21. Well, like I said. Not level 52 while I'm level 21. Yeah, okay, game takes. So we're going to finish dumping into Vitality. Let's see, dumping, but we're still 46. Or sorry, 58 intelligence. So what we could honestly do here is we could reset attribute points, just dump into Vitality so that we can ensure survival. But honestly, I do kind of just want to see where we are going to be at. I don't think Brutal's going to do anything. I don't think this does anything for us. Dagger's just fire damage. Rain is pointless. So let's go ahead, let's come in, let's see what we got. Let's see, doing the chest mode now. I went down and actually moved my minions so we can actually kill these things a little bit faster. If you don't do that, all that they're going to do is going to walk towards Gurag and heal him to full health. And then you have to come down and do this thing all over again. So there's where you can see I used a health potion because I got hit by the balls, which stun you. And they give you some damage. As long as you can tank those, you're good. So like you can see there, that's why I love playing Necro. I'm old, I don't have to worry about it. Slap on a satanic belt and just keep charging forwards. So you can see we're level 21, 550 health. It wasn't that bad. And again, just picking up Satanics. I like it. It's kind of addicting. You can come in, you can sell them. You could also go in and not ping it to chat. That's annoying when people do that. You can go in and you can deconstruct them to get Satanic dust. But with D tier stuff, it really doesn't matter. Just coming in, checking stuff before we go to the next area and move forward. So now here we have the Act 2 quest. And we're doing some of these quests because one, the XP they provide, especially in Act 1, I find really helpful. Because again, if you don't do the first quest when you wash up on the beach per se, hitting Act 2 is going to be difficult. Now you can kind of evaluate, I don't want to do any more quests, but at the end of this, I believe we get a guaranteed rune that's going to at least help us make a rune word and get us closer to where we want to be. So we now also have the dungeon here, so you can see zone level 14. I'm just going to pop my head in and see what the zone level is for this, because we can just keep running if we want to, but this is zone level 15. It's not going to give us that much experience because we are quote-unquote over-leveled right now, and that's just to make sure that we didn't die during Kirag. So let's just go ahead and run through a couple things. You can see that we already got all that we needed to for the kills in this area. It's usually separated by zone, same with like pyramid and stuff. So all these things that we needed to fight are split up. So now we start seeing the ice dragons, and you're going to start seeing that we get kill credit in the quest. Same thing with the voodoo dudes. I think they're called ice elementals, but yeah, it really never says it anywhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to rush that because the place that we turn it in is on this floor. And then I think there's another quest it gives us. Interrupt portals, maybe? And then the next one is going to be kill death. And that's pretty straightforward. There we have Sir Unga. It's Sir Bunga. Give me another one. There we go. Okay, don't drop anything, that's fine. I'm gonna go back to doing 2 and 2. And so now you can see our raised skeleton is max level. And we like that because it gives them almost 3 times our life, which is what we want. We want them to be a little bit tanky. We want them to be able to take hits, distract things that I don't want hitting my face. I have a nice face. I don't want things to hurt it. Yes, really, be quiet over there. Yeah. Streaming, yeah. And to interrupt portals, all we need to do is do some killing. And again, just focus for the pink gem areas on the map, in all honesty. And since we're level 22 in a level 15 zone, killing a lot is not going to be that beneficial for us. So don't go out of your way to try to, like, clear. And over there is a 5-year-old basically trying to tell you our life story. Yup. I don't know what a goblin could get you this early. Maybe a lucky satanic or something, but again, that dagger's just not going to be great. Level 23 for the shield still, but even though we have a +1 shield, Snowy Mountains, so that's even the next zone. So let's just rush. So you can see here we are losing a little bit of damage, especially when we're fighting stone skin stuff. These mobs are usually generally pretty tanky just because they want to make it hard to actually close the portals by killing everything. I'll take that 10% summon damage. Actually not going to be that strong for us as it would for other things because we're not reliant on continued casting. We're pretty much plop the boys down, go from there. But I will come down. I will continue to grab the waypoints because if I ever die, like that one time, I don't want to have to keep doing it. Another unstable rift. You could always chance trying to go in those, especially if you do have the local waypoint that you're not going to get too lost in. I don't know what you're really going to benefit from other than what you might get some added drop rate just because of a specific zone. You might get to be able to go into, I don't even know if Black Tower is going to have, I forget what the level's going to be, but I mean that's basically what you're trading that for. You would go in there, get more XP. We're level 23 in the 15 zone, so we need to figure out something. That's not going to be useful for us, but it does bring the next quest of killing the Grim Reaper. So I think we're going to do the quests until Act 3, put some points into intelligence, because that is what determines all of our skills damage for this stuff. Again, we get 5.75% arcane damage per point for the knights. It's a little bit different for the mages. And then I think the next thing, honestly, that we want to try to get is Frenzy, which I think we can once we get 2 points. But that just gives them 10% attack speed. So let's go ahead and... I'm actually considering just putting more points in mages. You know what, we'll put 1 point there because we have +3 right now. So that's going to give us a little bit more life on everything. And so, this is why I like Wipe, because you basically get to go through, you get to figure out, okay, what dropped, what do I have, what don't I have, where do I need to go. That's why I think I'm going to enjoy, what do they call it? It's not private leagues. Blood rituals, something edgy like that. Blood Pact might be the actual correct one. Alright, so there's that. We do just need to kill the Grim Reaper, so I think we could go in and do the dungeon if, again, we were lower level, hurting a lot of levels, anything like that. I don't think we are. 600 health. Not great, not terrible. And again, you can respec at any time. And if we actually just take our time and clear through some of this stuff, we're going to end up getting those levels anyway. Again, there's some math to it based on what level you are, what level your zone is, the efficiency of you killing something in the zone to getting, you know, like a less than 100% of that XP. Honestly, if you're ever unsure of any of that stuff, Wiki is getting updated. There's the new helper site that got created, I think, in time for Season 6. The Discord is going to be able to link you to all that. So if you haven't joined the Discord already, that's going to be the best place for you to go. Defense against missiles, I don't think we're going to have. Fire res. Good enough. Again, we don't need mana. Let's go back to splitting 2 and 2 for a hot minute. Legion, that's an interesting one, because it gives us another, at least one mob, but this is what we want for Legion. We want the undead leadership, chainsaw hit inspired by allies, because that gives them, you know, the attack speed, the attack damage, and then instead of just having one Legion, I think this one, where's the one that turns it into marksman? I think it's top rate that we're aiming for, because again, amount, bow, make them range so they can hit more things. So let's go ahead and start building towards that. So we're gonna have 2 Legion. So that's gonna be yet another keybind that we need. Here we go. And so now we have 13 things if we summon all our mages. We're gonna have a built-in buff, as you can see. It doesn't proc. It procs fairly often, not all the time. But again, if you don't have to press another buff button, that's more, you know, player quality of life. Especially once you get 3 of them, once they're actually ranged, so they can just shoot things from further away, proc it without having to run up things. It's gonna just be chef's kiss. And again, just pressing Q every now and then so it gets all clumped and you start doing the, what do they call that? Tactical nukes. Just drop a whole stack full of minions in an area and they go ham. Always pay attention to those +1 things, because you know, if you look at stuff, you might actually find something that's worth some money that you could be able to sell League start. Joffrey's really doesn't do much for us. Again, 645 life. Not having all my minions walking into this is pretty not smart, but not having a way to summon more of them is more not smart. But you can also see, doing this, we're fine on damage. It's making sure that, one, we stay alive by being not dumb, and we do what we need to do. So that's going to be a decent helmet replacement, assuming that it does have the $1 skill, so that's good, and then some intelligence. So, I can't remember if that's the last quest we do, though. I am obviously not very good at this, because I should probably know when to pick up quests and when to not. But here, I believe, level 30, that's 5 levels away. Let's go ahead and pick up the Meat Shield, which is a defensive buff. We could be casting that, or at least on auto. Well, I don't know if we can auto cast that. And then Meat Bomb next to be able to make sure that we can summon things when we need to. Level 25 does give us another point for things, so let's go in here and let's, since we can only have 2 max, give them a point in attack speed. Come in here, max out the number of skeleton mages. Come in here. I will probably max out the number and then we'll start doing other things with them. So again, here, just come in, sell what we're not going to use. I'm not going to use a 2-handed staff. Everything else pretty straightforward. Can I use any of those? Not worth it. Sometimes while you're going through, and if you have a socket and something, it's worthwhile to maybe just smack it on. So, come in here, go up, break the pots, talk to and then save some prisoners. I think it's the end of this act that I'm in that we're going to stop doing this stuff. So, again, rinse and repeat. Level 25 and a 21 zone, so we're doing better. Like I said, the Curag's the hardest part of Act 1 and 2. you saw how easy Grim Reaper was. So the only thing I'm not doing really good is going through and actually checking for number of sockets on things to make sure I can build out some rune words, because there are some pretty decent weapons, shields, Sky Song, Divinity, especially after we start getting like the higher bases. I'm less concerned about it being on a D tier base, but I'll definitely pay attention to something that's on like an A or an S tier base. I hate those two because they always get stuck when you spawn them. Oh, I have no wings. Could explain a lot. See that we completed those. Go back to town, turn it in. Yep, some pyramid stuff. Still need level 30. That's good for fizz damage, not great for me. Definitely don't want to go back to the pumpkin cellar. So now let's keep rushing. The good Russian, not the bad Russian. I don't think a lot of people are a fan of Russian these days. Split it 2-2. Pick up Meat Bomb, which is, I don't think there's anything that we really have to worry about. There is something eventually from watching one of Gragsy's videos, Gragsy TV, check him out, can't say enough good things about him, that eventually automates the casting of Meat Bomb, or it's like Meat Bomb on kill. So essentially, you're never going to have to worry about there being things on the ground or not. So let's go ahead and just dump 2 into there, and then 2 onto here, and then 1 onto here. Because again, if we have more corpses per meat bomb, and then if we recover a portion of our max life on hit, that's going to be pretty decent. And then we have to worry about putting it on a skill. Yay! Just put it on the left click, why not? Just left click for anything. I would if I could actually like teleport minions with it, but no. Them being picky about what skills you can put on what button is confusing as all get out. Thanks, Paz. Here we're just mainly doing the quests for shadow anomalies, desert beasts, sand wasps, I think, are the next big one this one, because when we start going to the pyramid, all those things start disappearing, and then we only get sand mummies and shadow anomalies, I think. But here, I think, is another one of those breakpoints. We're 26 in a level 21 zone, and I think Sand Cave is just good enough of a dungeon with density and linearness to want to run it while we're here. Probably to also help us finish this quest. So let's go ahead and crack on straight into it. Make sure you're not standing underneath the rock falls, because, you know, who would do that, especially if it's a pyromaniac mob? I don't know who would do that. Recall everyone so that all our mobs don't die from it. And just make sure that we summon every now and again. Not T-Y. Thank you. Yay, on-ground death effects. More, please. It's probably going to be worthwhile here in a little bit. Check out getting a replacement for the main hand, because the only thing that's given me is like +1 skill, all res. I don't even think it gives me like arcane damage or anything like that. But again, here, bloating mobs, don't get too greedy. Go pick up all the juice. 2 and 2. I don't think we're going to pick up Corpse Explosion yet, but there is... I forget when the next one that we, or when we get our first, so 2, 2, 2, 6, 7, but I think it's restricted, right? That would let me get it after probably I put another point in there. So it's level 30. There is a way to automate Corpse Explosion, such that if there's something in your area that it is a corpse, it will explode. Which sounds fantastic. So, I mean, might as well. So that way I can actually see. This is the aura, devouring aura, so we're just going to shoot 2, 2, 1. Put another point into this at 30, and then I think 35 will be able to put that point into it. Checking some things, because again, we're dumb and we didn't set up any sort of filter to target arcane skill damage, anything like that. But the other good reason to come into here is because it has some decent mining nodes. So especially if you're trying to get some of that early game farm money, come in here, actually do some mining, especially if you can come in and clear relatively quick. Especially if you have skills that can actually penetrate through walls more like it, because that makes clearing this place out so much more fun. Because you can't jump over stuff. Would be fun of that. I realize I'm only like half clearing this, so I'm not obviously too worried about it. Can you even put Corpse Explosion on left click? Summon Frenzy. I do want to get... Is it? If you set it up to autocast, how good is it going to be? Also, I need to make it a little bit smarter on my keyboard using keys like Z, whatnot. So that's the pyramid. Let's make sure that we get all of our quests done. As you can see, we have a lot more sand wasps that we need to kill, again, which will only be here. We didn't find nearly any earlier. Sand wasps, also, oddly enough, one of the biggest hardcore killers. Day one, you'll see a lot of them die to them. No joke. Because apparently if you stand close enough, all those projectiles just inject straight in your bloodstream. And GG no re. So you can see here, got the last of the sand wasps. Go ahead and just go straight to the next zone. Because there will be skeletons, there will be mummies, and then the shadow anomalies, the big bat things that flash you. Oh, I'm dumb. I was fully anticipating that to be pyramid. Fine, I'm not dumb. I have issues. But here's the plus. I can just skip all of this. I think actually this zone is the most killer because you have things like that. The rare bees, they will ruin your day. Always grab overflowing when you can, because if they don't give you just ore, could give you some rare crafting ingredients, which again, if you're trying to make some money early on, ore and that sort of stuff is usually the easiest way to make money. So here's the pyramid entrance, which is going to give us those other three mob types that we would like to worry about for this quest. Hey, Max. Yes you can. But we are almost done for the night, okay? Some of the things, as you can see, there are health bars. If you have some that are particularly damaged, it's just easier to summon until you see them get replaced. So here we're level 28 and a 22. But Pyramid's one of those fun places because I would say that Anubis is like the next more difficult boss, as in like he can kill you pretty good. There's definitely times I fought him when I was doing hardcore and it was like, why is he this hard? And it's typically because when he summons those sarcophagus, they are very tanky, with minions especially, they're not going to be targeting them. And then on top of all of that, he's spamming those pretty powerful abilities that you like. His... who am I turning this into? Second floor of the pyramid. His his rain of fire and then his wall of fire is just, whew, like it's worse than Gurag's chess phase, where it's like you have to tank the damage. There's no way that you're going to just make it through unscathed. And so I think even then I'm gonna have to go in and use all slots when fighting him, because just one healing potion's not going to be enough to fill me up necessarily. But then also on top of that, it's if my minions start dying during that, it's going to just be miserable. So I think we have two options right now. And that's one, farm up enough until we hit 30 so that we can start kind of respecking into Spirit of Vengeance. We're still going to keep those base things, so we will always have at least 15 minions, 16 including Spirit of Vengeance. But the thing is, they're all going to be weak, and if we're kind of putting points into Spirit of Vengeance, it's just going to be, I don't know if the damage is going to be there. Having that chain lightning is going to be fantastic, but I think also this is another breakpoint where we want to make sure that we have enough vitality. So we're going to go in here, we are going to put some more points into, I want to say, this is mastery, but I think honestly we also need to start prepping for poison double, but I think that's honestly closer to 60 at this point, let's be honest. I don't think that's a right now thing, I think that's a later thing. So let's just kind of farm stuff out, give us the option to consider changing to Spirit of Vengeance. Because again, look, these guys aren't tanky. The only things that I have that are tanky are my warriors, for a reason. Like, they don't even have any like life gain on hit or way to sustain themselves. At level 30, I'll be able to get it for the warriors. So I mean, we're gonna have to see a few things. Anubis might be one of those ones that I just need to make sure I over farm on for me myself to be more comfortable. But obviously, if you're playing different classes, you're gonna have different issues. There's other classes very good, like Jotun. They're just going to say, okay, I'm just going to circle strafe and Orb of Frost everything and not have a care in the world. That's not Necro. Necro's going to be like, I need the micro stuff, and this is hard because there's way too much stuff going on the screen. So I wonder if it'll be worth it to maybe right-click Command Minions. That way you can actually like target them into a certain area to do the sarcophagi a little bit more frequently. Keep it in that. I want to keep it in that. Although I do have a skill point to spend. We're probably going to hit 30 when we go into the next area. Not next area, the one after this. Because I hate full clearing this with how many times you gotta get your minions to jump between things. Zane switch. Still don't think that's good enough. 5 all attributes, all res. Honestly, we're sitting at not great all res, so like all that we have is important. Anubis is going to be primarily fire. We can put on the helmet, which that's going to lose me some things. None of these things are going to be useful. So that's all cleared. I'm gonna put into vitality again, because again, the more health I feel like I have, the more health I have, the better I will feel. Can't put resistance into that, although amplified damage is a skill that we're going to have eventually. So let's take a look at this. With 6 points, we can get up to a keystone node, but we're going to be 35 before we can put our first point in. Of which we can do additional, because I think sacrificial offering is the keystone for single target. Of which, again, just let me check something real quick. Patch notes for Necromancer did talk about the change in this. Exo, your patch notes are far too long. Necromancer, Vengeful Spirit, Spirit Offering, Rework, no, increases stats by 15 per level per summon sacrificed. So this is just 25 per level. So I think in the future this is going to get insanely stronger because it's going to be a lower scale, but per summon sacrifice. And as you can see right now, I already have 15 minions. So I think that's going to be neat in the future. Damage based on my intelligence, not going to be super useful. Chain bolts to additional targets, that's going to be good. Vengeful Spirit's Life, again, not great. And then Fork, attack speed's going to be one of the better things, but again, oh boy. I think we rely on attack speed from other sources and worry about right now some chains. Oh, level 60. I'm silly. I forgot about that. Based on these chains, we're going to crit and do a lot of damage. Two things. Again, that's whenever it spawns. Or sorry, not whenever it spawns. The tactical nuke for whenever it spawns close to stuff when I zip around. Hopefully it does that more damage. Pretty good. You can see the attack speed's not terrible right now. Can't even wear those if I wanted. So let's go ahead and try to go in with what we got. So here's that first skill, Wall of Thunder. You're just gonna get, oh gosh, Anubis is someone made him mad. Mental facilities waiting. yep, this is the endurance part, because if you can't clearly do that well, you are going to suffer. And then he just keeps stacking them. And as you can see, it's not terrible, but if you're not ready for that, like I usually never am, it can be scary. Mana, that's really the only thing that's on there. Gosh, stupid text messages. Strength and dex, defense of 20. It's honestly better than mana. Let's keep rolling. So that was close. He Anubis is probably the hardest one that I have after Kurag. Do I want to stop doing things here? When do I get the runes? That's not until Eternal King, is it? Well, if we're practicing, we might as well actually figure it out. Apocalypto's not going to be anything good for us, because it's again Armageddon, it's like a Pyromancer thing. Fire skill damage. Guess who's not fire skill? Intelligence based on level, that's going to be something good to look out for on typically, other gear. 1 doll skills, 20 int. I'm trying to see if it would be worth it to switch back to this. 7. But the life increase, what does that put us at? 757? So we gain like 70 life. Just gonna keep that there. And then I guess we move on. But yeah, you can see there, if you don't have enough like minion health and stuff like that, Anubis is just gonna wreck with your minions, and it's not gonna be fun. I also realized I didn't put my rank 30 point into my other skills, so I think let's aim to do that here momentarily. Come inside to do it, and I think we said up here is the aura, so let's just put the point in there to get it close. Let's go ahead and additional meat bomb, why not? Here we want health, honestly, but I think it's going to be additional projectile and an arc, and then life. So let's go damage there. Here it's definitely going to go to heal themselves on hit for skeleton warriors. We're going to go attack speed, because again we want the sharpshooter. Then here, again, we're already up here, so we could go with fork. Yeah, for like more AoE type clear. So again, having your frontline minions be tanky here, I think, to me makes sense, but don't get me wrong, you could totally switch over to summon vengeance spirit. Let me see if I can set up a second skill tree after this, and we'll see if it actually does like noticeably different, because if you have a lot of points into that, whenever it shoots things, it's going to one-shot most things. So let's just make sure that we're safe before we actually switch over to a secondary one. So here we'll do the same thing, just put the points over there. Dump until we're about 100 or so. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And then 20 in. And then again, I think once we're at this point, life tab. increasing any attacker's lifesteal when striking. So I think this would be useful against Anubis and things of that nature. So let's go ahead and just put points in there. We can come in. We can say, okay, recall summons, right click. We can say Q for, now let's just keep it here. Where Q for recall. We can do E for the first buff of Summon Frenzy. We can R for, let's do the kind of defensive one, life tab. Then we can do amplify damage. I don't think we have an aura yet, but now we need to do Raise Skeleton. Now we need to do Skeleton Mage. Now we need to go do Legion, and then we need to do Spirit. So can only do 3 of those. They are talentless. Do we do attack speed on this guy first? He's our primary. Let's go ahead and go that way, and we'll see if that helps? Question mark. So there's 333, which I thought we had more, but that's fine. Let's do 5, and then again 1. Then here, let's do the 5 and then the 1. And then these don't really matter because again, it's I goofed that. And then there's that. So then let's get all these guys out. And again, don't need a lot of mana for it. So what's the point? So right click commands, Q is tactical nuke. I'm not seeing enough in my mind to make me want to switch to him being the main right now. Yes, eventually I can totally see it. But right now it's not like enough. I think at like level 60 or 80 probably, but if I need to worry about my other minions kind of like health at this point, I'd probably just rather stick with this tree where I have all my points in Raised Skeleton and kind of just go from there. So I'm in here, I completed the quest. I think we just had to kill something, oddly enough. So come out here, talk to the dude, get a Satanic. Never know what you're going to get, which is the fun part. Whirlwind. And then he wants me to do what? Go and kill more things. In the next zone, I believe. Oh. Great. I need my minions back. So you can see here, we're a little bit closer. We're level 31 in a 28 zone. So you can see these couple of next zones are going to be good to us in the sense that we'll get more XP faster, which is great. 10 vitality, which is the lowest roll. Fizz reduced, and then that reduced. I think that would be stronger than 3 vitality, so let's just do that. And that's pointless. Again, simulating a start, I think we could make the argument to be mining more, but I'm not. That's fine. hiccups. Quick question for anyone watching. What is your weird go-to home way of getting rid of hiccups? Some of you might know what I'm talking about, because I grew up and there was definitely one thing that my parents always told me to do to get rid of them. And I'll tell you this, it wasn't putting your head between your legs, it wasn't doing anything funky with holding your breath. It was more about how to regulate and calm your esophagus, or not esophagus, the diaphragm, by drinking water through a cup that had a paper towel sitting over top of it. I kid you not, it works. So next time you actually get hiccups for one reason or another, I don't know why I get them, try it and let me know if it actually does anything for you, because me and my daughter swear by it, but my wife tells us that we're crazy, and we definitely know who's the crazy one. Because they're just up here winning. Trying to curse things more to see if it will actually like keep them topped up. I think having massively increased AoE on that would be really helpful. But yeah, the skeleton mages only having 1 point. Their health is pretty abysmal. Dang, even my, it's because I took them off the thing. I was gonna say my skeleton knights are dying, and it's because I can't resummon them because I had to attach to a buff. So I think that's one of the other hard things about managing Necro, is that it's a lot of micromanagement, sadly. But I think that's what I like getting out of it, is more of like a, oddly enough, a hands-off playstyle where I'm just sitting back and waiting for my minions to do things instead of me doing it directly. Right? Path of Exile, it's called like a delayed damage source, where a minion is doing damage instead of you. Here it's kind of pretty much the same. I don't think there's any arguing about that. But it gives me the freedom to kind of pay more attention about my positioning, worrying about me, trying to figure out where I am and I need to be in order to do the peak optimal damage, and just letting them run rampant. Go ahead and put the Frenzy on autocast again. It seemed to be okay. Just okay. And just keep summoning things until we get more points so we can make them stronger. Kill that Pyromaniac, not stand in his stuff. And go in. Just put some points of vitality. I think at this point, I will put at least one into this to get 15 all res. Make my minions a little bit tankier. I think that will be good. In the long run, especially the more you get, plus all skills. Those little pickups are going to be far stronger. switch on that because I think life after each kill is going to be useful. Help me stay alive the most I can. While at the same time having some intelligence on it is just going to make sure that we keep that damage up. And I think there needs to be some sort of, not crossover, but some sort of break point established for at what point a +1 skill is going to give you the same damage as like a plus 20 intelligence. But that's not something I'm going to be worried about figuring out right now. Because I'm tired. I'm lazy. I work today, and dang it, people like me. So as long as there's just 5 in that, no issues. No problem. And then I think we're going to put more points into Spirit. Just make him be a little bit more of that high damage carry. Eventually we'll switch it so that most of our points are in there anyway. One of my favorite zones because of the amount of density that you get by killing the spider webs and stuff. Killing a spider and 4 more spiders spawn from it. It's kind of like the maggots from Fields of Battle and those other areas. To me it makes sense why this would be a good farming point, but no big deal breaker if it's not. And then you have to kill stuff with a flail. Which, if I remembered, the damage got buffed. Or, alternatively, if you really want to cheese this, you just go back to Fields of Battle and you're like, I'm going to walk around with a flail and just one-shot everything. But it seems like we're doing okay. Okay enough. I would think we would just come back here and turn it in. Oh, the other thing that we should probably get? We probably have enough coin at this point to actually get a mercenary. That's just going to help with the overall amount of getting things off my back. Even though we have minions for that. So 9,000 gold, not terrible. That's cheaper for me, I think, because I got into a guild the other day. And I think it reduces the cost to unlocking them and then also resurrecting them. So I think we just turn in this quest in the next map, probably. So let's not worry about that. Let's just find the exit. Because again, well, 34 and 29. I think we're pretty confident that we can just keep moving forwards. Nothing has presented a hard stop to us yet in terms of impossibility to kill. I think we kill everything at a good enough point or fast enough speed that makes it okay. Yeah, there we go. I don't want a fedora, man. Nobody wants a fedora. So in this quest, you gotta find that stupid formation. I can't remember if it's in here in the next one. But basically, kill enemies. Get them good. Yeah, here's the formation. You're looking for the bridge across the ravine, and then that's the commander there. So here we can see I do have a mercenary. Demon Shrine of the Relic. Can it give me a negative? I don't think it has the ability to give you like an actual negative relic. We have our mercenary now. So let's slap gear on him so he's not completely useless. If anything, we want him to be, you know, let's just say a little bit tanky. Again, his main point is to I don't know, distract from us. So let's just find some gear, specifically a weapon, and then we also need to look at his mercenary levels. And again, if you know things, you can pretty much tell what are some good skills versus some not good skills. So I'm just going to put some points into those, and then if we put 1 point into a lot of other things, we should be good. So let's do no, I'm probably just going to dump in the life regen first. So we can see layer got completed, but it's not turned in a quest where we picked it up at. So again, I'm just over here to grab waypoint, because again, if you die, it's going to be so much easier to just waypoint back to where you need. You can see my mercenaries taunting things. That's great for both me and my minions, because if they're not targeting my minions are going to last longer. Same thing if he taunts them and they start trying to focus my mercenary, my minions are going to have like more efficient AI where they're just trying to fight things that are targeting him, not me. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's the exact same build that I have, just a little bit different. Even then, I think I want to switch these out next level anyway. I think I'd rather just keep that on. The helmet he has on. Let's go turn in the quest, see if it gives us a decent enough satanic to give him something different. No, of course it doesn't. And then we have the task to kill Damien, which is easy enough. is going to spawn the stupid fight. So that's why it's nice to put shrines, because you never know what you're going to be getting. But to this extent, these are tanky mobs, and since they're the Guardians of Hell, they're going to be opening up that portal to the Archdemon's Plateau, which, if you don't know, is a boss fight between Satan, Damien, and Grim Reaper. Yeah, not Death. Keep wanting to just call it Death. I wouldn't go do it because I think it's not worth it unless you actually get, you know, that higher rarity, which is applied through the difficulty setting. So typically it's a lot more worth it for things like Hell 5. We are in normal, so in my mind, I would likely die trying to do it, and it would not give me anything of value. It might drop like a D tier satanic. It's not going to drop me their soul or anything like of actual added benefit. Again, I need to figure out just crap to give to my dude. He's not at risk of dying, but okay. Does he not like this? Or is it because it requires level 40? Maybe bump up his dodge chance. I'm going to increase my vitality because you can see some HP drops. And the less that happens, the better off I will be. But honestly, we are fine to go take on Damien at this point. Our damage, it's not great, but guess what? It's going to be decent enough. And Damien's one of those fights where all you need to do is just outlast it. Let's give our guy some added health. Still need to pick up a weapon, and then we always want to make sure that he has a shield, because again, that just increases his survivability. But the other part of it is you want to make sure that he's using a shield, because having that added equipment slot usually lets you be able to smack more magic find onto him, which is something that you usually try to do. That's actually not going to be bad. I don't know for me, for him, but we'll figure it out. Is he not going to like it because it's a polearm? No, it's good enough. Alright, so that's fine. Just checking some things, seeing if we can find anything better. Not honestly too worried about it. Arcane skill damage over one skill. Let's try it. I'm not going to be able to guarantee that it's going to be better, but honestly, this thing is nothing but a giant case of screw around to find out, in the most PG terms. Interesting. Pardon me. I don't think he does that because it's a throwing thing. That's whatever. Time's up.
Okay. Time to get off,
I'll find my shields here for him. Either way. In order to kind of see what's on that ground and highlight over it and look at it, all you gotta do is hit control or hold it down. Tells you some good stuff. Buckler. If he's not using the two-hand, that's going to be great, but he is using the two-hand, so we're going to try to find something that's not two-hand. Preferably something with attack speed, because again, this dude wants to stay alive, and he stays alive by regenerating health through all the different means, including one hit. Interesting. Go ahead and pick that instead of the other one. Reset our minions. Did hit 35, so we do have another point. Just call it there. And Damien will melt. Slowly. Surely. Biggest thing I gotta do is watch out and make sure that they don't get beamed whenever he starts doing like the actual laser beams. And as of right now, it's making sure that we kill enough of the heads that when they do that beam, it's not super terrible. You can see, it's all handled well enough. Blades, call it done. So we can wear shield 2, and then we'll slap a mythic chest on him. And then we want to look at these. Minus all res. Very bad. Rolls. Very, very bad. I'll have the all res to play with at the moment. Especially going into Shujo Retreat. Shujo is one of those places that if you don't have enough, was it physical or cold res, you're going to have med time. So now it's also making sure that we have enough health to be able to tank some of these things. Because you're going to see some things in here that they're not fun. Yeah, dude, what's up? No. It's going to be time to brush teeth, okay? Thanks. So we're going to be wrapping up here soon because kids' bedtimes. In general, we've been playing for... I don't even think it tells me. Probably close to 2 hours. So that's not bad. I could do that on patch day, I think it would be sufficient. There's definitely crazier people out there that will be in endgame, like, so let's see, I think March 14th the game is set to be live, 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern. It varies by your locality. I would say reasonably by 6. Yeah, let's be more honest. 5 o'clock p.m. There's already people doing some, full tier farms. You see the drops in chat. You see people being salty about people being, cheaters or whatnot. No, they just really know how to play the game, where to farm things, how to level up that fast so they can get to that point. You see Garden Colossus here is a mob, and it's going to be in the Fuji crater itself, so we need to go in there. Paz can tell when people are cheating. Let's be honest. They're typically not them, but I think it's good to aim to just be efficient, especially on day one, because the further you get, the farther you are towards, somewhat reliable farming. That's going to be where your sweet spot's going to be, because the way that you're going to be making money on this is by selling drops, selling bases, selling runes, and all of that. It's beneficial if you have that little bit of an edge on, oh, I'm already in Nightmare, this is going to be a little bit easier, I'm already in Hell, so drop rate's going to be a little bit higher. And there's going to be people that just kind of rush this as a group. That's another side of things. It's just like group play in PoE. Typically there's a group that always just runs through and goes ham. But I think that's going to be just about it for tonight's testing. Again, work calls in the morning. I'm sure most of you know how that is. So, I don't know if I'm going to pick this back up. I'm definitely not going to finish this in the sense that it's all one sitting. So, I think based on this, and based on a lot of the changes for next season, reading either patch notes or kind of putting out some of my own assumptions, I think Necro is going to be a solid class to attempt the new difficulty with, again, because you are not standing in the face of someone being that person doing the damage. If all my minions are doing the damage, I myself am going to feel more comfortable being behind that wall. Like in instances where it's like, here, this is Inferno difficulty and all my minions are just tanking the dude, I'm going to have not a care in the world. But again, it really depends on what all that means, based on like the health scaling or what it's actually going to be. So, in essence, pick whatever you want, play whatever you want. That's really the big thing that it comes down to. And have fun. Play a class that you want to play. Play something that you're going to actually enjoy so that you're here for not just like 2 days. That's so many hardcore players lately where it's just like, I'm going to play day one, die a few times, not come back for the rest of the league. Hardcore economy just suffers. Like there's day 2, day 3, day 4. People in hardcore will power level you to level 100 just so that there's more people online so that they can have more of a stable economy. You have more people playing at that higher level, you get more of those higher level drops, people put stuff on the auction house, and that economy exists. Softcore is riddled with that from the get-go, and that's why prices are usually so higher, because there's much more of a player base to actually point towards. And whenever people get to that end game grind, getting juiced codexes, stuff like that, that's when supply eventually overtakes demand, and we get in a better spot. So I think I'm going to be trying softcore, because again, screw trying a new difficulty on hardcore. I will make a hardcore character season 6. That's not going to be too bad, but it's just going to be heckin' difficult. to try to figure out how to get there and what all is different. What do we need to do? So, hope to see you there. Hope that you bring your A game, have some fun, and yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. Here, take it easy.